Hey, what's going on everybody? This is G The Hypersapien, and in this video we're going to take a look at who are those Beast Snagga Gits anyway?
Listen up, boys. We've had some right strange types appearing in the last few days, and I want to know what they's doing in my war. Last time you lot poked around one of them weird lads, Bogrots, it exploded. So this time we've got some captive Umis to find out what they's up to in the new regular series on the Warhammer Community site. Here we go.
As you'll have no doubt seen in the recent Warhammer preview online, followers of the new greenskin subculture have arrived to bring their own brand of crumpin to the galaxy, called the Beast Snaggas. These master squig breeders ride to war on their ferocious red steeds, kicking, biting and stabbing anything within their reach. So you can see an awesome image of the previous orc Beast Snagga that we've already seen. Just because they eschew the trucks and bikes of their speed freak cousins' armies doesn't mean the Beast Snaggas are averse to using some kind of local mech boys creations. Think of them as a pro-squig rather than anti-thinking. After all, it's rare to find an orc who wouldn't appreciate how you can make a humble spear louder and killier by adding rocket boosters to it. As you can see, this new Beast Snagga, now they've revealed a good old squig pig. It looks bloody amazing. Like, look at that, it looks a little bit more almost like a shark in a way, this one. Still has that pig nose, and it's similar and reminiscent of that last one we saw, but I guess as well the motion of this one, the last one looked like it was turning, maybe even dodging some firepower. This one's just going full bore, get it, bore, just rampaging forwards. The orc on top looks like he's ready to hit that button and throw that spear. And the grot on the back, he looks like he has a wad of dynamite with a little hook, so I guess he'd throw it in the ground or maybe even onto a vehicle, and that little hook will hook onto whatever it lands on, and then obviously you'll get a nice big kaboom. But I love the way the grot's face look, just like I have said previously on the other one. The little grot's face just looks amazing. He looks really pissed off. He looks like he's angry and just ready to do some damage. The orc is really nice on this. I like how he has, looks like scales of some kind of beast on his back as his armor. I like his shoulder pad. It's got a really nice glyph on it. It looks like these models, it looks like the feet will be like Gore Grunter from AOS, where the legs are attached to the squig already. Most likely that's how it will be. And then you'll add the rest of the orc. I wonder how many options you get on the weapon side. I know they're most likely all going to have these rocket spears. But yeah, let me know in the comment what you think of these. Like his sort of Maori tattoos, like tribal tattoos on him. Really like the cybernetics on him. That eye piece looks really nice. These are a nice paint job, but they're kind of basic. It looks like, you know, a goblin green type color with a green wash, and then it looks like a sort of khaki highlight. They're nice, but it's going to be good to see some other gits do them and see what they do with them, especially the sort of pro level painters. Moving on, their appreciation for the old ways and their disregard for more complex orky technology leads many of the snakebite clans to become Beast Snaggas. Although their ilk can be found across the entire spectrum of orc society, even a non-nonsense goth can look at a squig hog's shockingly large teeth and figure out how best to apply them to some poor git's face. I love this artwork, it's amazing. They have, well, they're a little bit more cartoony, let's face it, the figures or the models. It's kind of what GW's been like. Their artwork is just extremely realistic, or always just so good. It's always so crisp, and it just always looks amazing, this artwork they always do in their codexes and so on. They've done this type of artwork for many of years. But look at the Beast Snagga, the orc himself. On top he's all furry. He's got his tats. I love the colour of the skin. It's got some browns mixed in and some sort of beige or fleshy tones. Looks really good. I like the orc's face here. The models are not bad, but the orc face here, I wish they looked a little bit more like that. But as I say, I guess they go with a bit more sort of cartoony look. The Grot on the back looks amazing. He looks a bit bigger, like longer limbed than he does in the model, but that's the art for you. Now the actual pig squigs themselves, I like how their teeth are here. It doesn't really sort of translate like that on the model, but yeah, sometimes it's the paint job as well. If we went with more metals like this instead of that white paint, if we went with more metallic with no paint on top, it might look a little bit more like this. Obviously not entirely. You will get the jaw piece and stuff like that to look a little less animated, but yeah, I really like the teeth on here, like how they're turning into tusks and then you got all those little teeth and whatnot. Just, yeah, so good. The artwork is amazing. It reminds me of some stuff from Star Wars, kind of like the stuff they ride, even like a Rancor, just really hyper realistic and stuff like that. And yeah, I really like the way they've done the squigs here. So if you paint them a bit more like this, you might get them to look a little bit more realistic again if you add some browns and, you know, it's got some black and dirt and greys and stuff to the red, so it's not just all bright red. The Beast Snagga boys themselves are hulking mountains of muscle, even by regular orc standards, spending their lifetime chasing down and grappling with ravenous beast breeds, particularly hardy individuals. Even their Gretchen underlings are a smidge braver than usual, as those affectionately dubbed Saddle Gits hold on for dear life and take whatever swings they can. Stay tuned to learn more about the savage Beast Snaggas and the ingenious ways they use giant red-mouthed monsters. In the meantime, prepare for the wah by grabbing some of their speed freak rivals in a boomdacker snazwagon or shock jump dragster. You can even bridge the gap between the two subcultures with a rucker truck squig buggy, although knowing the orcs, they're just as likely to fight both sides. Don't forget, there's a wealth of orky stories for you to brush up on too. Just ask Makari, he'll tell you exactly what you should be reading right now. Being born red means they'll make naturally fast mounts, you see, if such a thing really exists, which isn't saying much. Take a look at any of the buggies they suggest. I know they're trying to sort of push some of their older stuff, but not quite as old as the other range, kind of new stuff that's going to keep around, and we know it's not going to be changed. Hopefully we get some changes in some of the old models. Cough, boys. If you do want to take a look at the old buggy kits, I have reviewed and unboxed all of those, so if you want to take a look at them on the channel, even reviewed boys, Gretchen, you know, so on. I've still got some other kits that I'm going to look at and review and give you an unboxing for. But yeah, you gits, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that notification bell just so you never miss a video, and yeah, take a look at some of the old videos you might be interested in. I've reviewed a lot of the orc range. Also, I've got some painting videos, I've got reviews for different products in the hobby. But yeah, like always, I appreciate you watching. This was G The Hypersapien, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.